In the name of Allah, the most compassionate, the most merciful, my dear friends and fellows, look, all of us have certain ambitions, all of us have certain plans, and a set destination as well. We want to achieve something, we want to reach somewhere else. We want to become a successful person, we want to become an affluent person, we want to be liked by the people, we want to achieve this and we want to achieve that. That is all the life is all about, because a human being has multiple desires. I'm not saying that we should start working or should continue working for the desires, for the unworthy goals. I'm not suggesting that thing at all, because unworthy goals, the goals which are not worthwhile, if at all we have been struggling for those things, even if we do achieve that, after a while we will feel and we will realize that these things are, unworthy of having this much of the struggle at all. I should have done something, I should have achieved worked for the achievement of that, I should have worked for the achievement of this, etc. So the first of all, I think that the goal should be, must be worthy one, my dear friends. And while trying to achieve our goals and while trying to reach a destination, we do have to do certain things, we do have to do many things, and we do have to avoid many other things as well. That's also important. And sometimes we are struggling for a certain thing, for a certain goal, but we don't have something which are the necessary ingredients for the achievement and for the struggle of that particular type, but we are lacking something really important here. What helps us a lot, that is something that is something which is called jugaad lagana. Jugaad, J u j u d a d, G-U-J-U-G-A-D, Jugaad. That is, Hindi word, probably Urdu word, which has been included into the English. But the proper word in the English is resilience. Resilience, we need to become resilient. We need to become resilient because there are certain things, which are available to us today. It might not be available to us tomorrow after some of the time. So does it mean that our struggle should stop? I think our struggle, our working should not stop. We do have to continue the working, we do have to continue the struggle, and that will only be possible if at all we are resilient enough, if at all we are having a kind of jugaad, my dear friends. We must have this quality, because there are certain qualities which are, which are not essential, without which to we can continue our struggle, and even we do succeed in achieving whatever we wanted to, and reaching wherever we wanted to reach, achieving whatever we wanted to achieve. But there are certain other, qualities which are essential, and if at all we don't have that, we will never be able to reach where we wanted to reach. And that one of those qualities is resilience, resilience, resilience. It is so important, so essential, and it is actually the resilience which, in case that there are people who don't have the resources but they do have a very strong will. Some of the people, they don't have the resources but they do have very strong will, and in the absence of the proper resources, in the absence of the proper resources, if at all somebody is continuing the struggle and making certain progresses as well, so this will be all mere because of the resilience. So from there you can understand the importance of the resilience, how important it is. I think it is extremely important. And without this resilience, I think probably no one will be able to achieve whatever they wanted to. Probably they will never be able to reach where they wanted to. Why? Because they were lacking resilience. There will be troubles and there will be problems and there will be hurdles and there will be this and there will be that. All of that becomes unbearable for a person who is not resilient, my dear friends. Some of the people, they do have the proper resources, they do have tremendous amount of resources, and they might achieve something even without much of the resilience. But as for the commoners in Pakistan are concerned, as for the commoners in the third world is concerned, if at all they want to achieve something, and even if at all this something is not much bigger, if even if it's at all this something is not much bigger, I think despite all that, I think that, nah, they must have the resilience. And you might have noticed that some of the people who belongs to the class of commoners, the lower middle class, etc. But they have achieved something worthwhile. Talk to them, interview them, speak to them well for a good amount of time. You will come to know that they, during their struggle, they had to face many, many, and many of the troubles. But despite all those troubles, despite all those lackings, they continued their struggle, and this continuous struggle of theirs has taken them to this coveted place, and where even the more resourceful people are, looking upon them enviously that they have achieved all that. And I believe that all became possible only because of one reason, and that one reason was their adaptability. That one reason was their wearability. That one reason was their jugaad, and that one reason was their resilience. So I think that we must develop at least one quality in ourselves, and that one quality is resilience. I believe that if at all one person is resilient enough, so this person will succeed sooner or later, even if they might take a bit of extra time, but the success becomes, a kind of guarantee. The success becomes a kind of guarantee for every such person, who is a resilient person, who is wearable, who is adaptable, who is who is tough, who is strong, who is resilient, who know how to carry on the struggle with the jugaad if at all the proper things are not available. So it is not as complicated as we might have thought earlier, because those who are seen succeeding and achieving whatever they wanted to, they might not be very genius, they might not be very intelligent, but they have all done that because of the strong will. So the strong will and the resilience are actually, these are almost the same thing. We cannot become a resilient person unless and until we do have a strong will. So it is the strong will which actually makes us a resilient person, and it is the resilience which makes us a person of strong will. So maybe this is the name of the, one thing, the two names of the one thing. But we must learn to become resilient, and that is something which will inshallah ensure our success. Thank you very much.